We have two very interesting webinar conversations happening on the 15th of June, and I'd like to tell you a little bit more about them. Did you know that 75% of people worry about how their families would manage financially in their absence? Swagat is going to be looking at a budget-friendly way to protect your family's financial needs and designing your term insurance plans. This webinar is happening at 11 a.m. Following this at 12 p.m., I'll be talking about how retirees can structure a steady and tax-efficient source of income through the power of SWPs or systematic withdrawal plans. We would love to see you there. The registration links are in the description below.
Adapting to the new reality. After a very long time, we are again faced with the reality of coalition politics. While the recent events post the verdict of 2024 suggest that things are moving smoothly, one can never take this for granted. So effectively, those who have seen coalition politics and know how politicians work would always be prepared for something unpredictable. Most investors who have come into the stock market during the era of single party rule between 2014 and 24 are definitely not used to this. To them, politics was not even a variable. They would simply buy stocks based on charts, based on breakouts, based on what they think is the trend. So, in a market where majority of the players are trend followers, an unknown variable like politics is something that can play havoc. We saw that havoc on that Monday and Tuesday. On Monday, we had the exit poll. On Tuesday, we had the result. I mean, the Monday's market was the reaction to the exit poll. So, two types of reactions basically took out most trend followers. People who bought on Monday on the basis of a very strong trend got taken out on Tuesday because stocks fell so much that their stops got triggered. So, that was probably just the first in a series of events that we are going to see in the coming years. So, investors have to adapt to this new reality and they must always be willing and ready to face an unknown event. I still remember the day when, on a lazy Sunday afternoon, a Congress president went to the Rashtrapati Bhavan and withdrew support to a government. I can assure you, on that Friday, we never thought that there was a remote possibility of that event. This was how the president of one of the most traditional national parties behaved on a Sunday afternoon, and that wreaked havoc subsequently in the stock market. So, these are things that can always happen, and I have very, very little regard for politicians in this area. I think they are capable of anything, and you can never know how low they can go. And that's the nature of that beast called coalition politics. So, today, I think as an investor, I would adapt to this new reality. I would always be prepared for something nasty to happen, because that can always happen. And being prepared will always help me react when an event happens. Now, we never know when it will happen, so one has to be in a state of constant readiness for a political event. But that does not mean that you will not invest at all. Today, I think we should go back to our valuation math. We should become more stingy or miserly in how we buy. In the sense, you should be paying a little less for companies. We should be strict in our valuation math, and that would probably give us some kind of a cushion, some kind of a safety net. Also, we should evaluate which are the companies that can adversely be affected by the pulls and pressures of coalition politics. If we know that, then we would be in a better place and we would know what to avoid in this scenario. There is also another approach which worked very well for me during the era of coalition politics, that is investing in companies which would be least affected by politics. It's not easy in this market because such companies are valued very expensive. But if and when you find one such company at a valuation which is reasonable, you should buy that company and hold it during this phase of coalition politics. So there is a lot of adaptation as investors that we need to practice in our investing, and that would be the only way we could safeguard our investing from coalition politics. Thank you for watching this video.